Hey, what's going on? CoinUp TV subscribers, Robert Wagner here. In this video, I want to do a review of The Shadow Whip, a 1971 Shaw Brothers classic directed by Lo Wei, which recently came out on the Shop Factory Shaw Brothers Classic Collection Volume 2, this time paired with The Crimson Charm, which I haven't watched yet. Hopefully I'll watch that soon, maybe put up a review for that video soon. If you didn't know, these are on individual discs and they come with special features. We'll talk about my letter grade in a second for The Shadow Whip and the Blu-ray itself. First, I want to get into the synopsis. So The Shadow Whip, 1971, directed Lo Wei. The IMDb synopsis says, this top 10 hit reunites Come Drink With Me stars for a new adventure, whether single-handedly fighting 16 bandits, avenging her father's death, or solving multiple murders. Our heroine shows why she's Hong Kong's #1 sword and a whip woman. That's a colorful analysis of the movie. I'm not quite sure it summarizes succinctly the actual plot of the movie, so I'll get into sort of my notes here. We've got starring Cheng Pei-Pei, that's of course from Come Drink With Me that they're referencing, as Yun, and Tien Feng as Fang Chen-tian, and Yueh Hua as Wang Jian-xin, with Fang as Hong Dapeng. Of course, I have no idea if I'm correctly pronouncing these. Apologies in advance. But let's get to a little bit about the movie here. Everybody seems to be looking for Fang Chen-tian, who's the master of the Shadow Whip. They think he was part of a robbery that took place 15 years prior and want to avenge what happened in there and recover the stolen stuff. We got some MacGuffins happening, MacGuffin time with these early Shaw Brothers movies. One of the pros is I appreciated the outdoor landscape, the scenery. We're in the snow. Clearly this isn't shot in Hong Kong, China, but we get the snowy landscape, real snow, not fake Hollywood snow. I would say a con though is the whip. The whip is kind of a boring weapon to watch. It doesn't seem very practical. They tried their best to sort of like use the whip as like a kung fu martial arts weapon, but I could see why the whip isn't really used a lot in movies as a weapon. It doesn't seem interesting. It's to watch. So that's a little bit of a con. We got the scenery as a pro. The whip is the basis of the movie is a little bit of a con there. Let's see. There's some other cons here. We've got there's a few scenes where there's a lot of undercranking going on to speed up the action. There's this one scene near this bridge about halfway through the movie where the entire scene looks like it was undercranked and sped up, and I had a hard time taking that scene seriously. I get that these are early movies and they were still experimenting things. They didn't really like fine-tune this stuff, but yeah, the undercranking, where the things just kind of sped up, it doesn't really work a lot for some of these movies. There's another con I have. I wrote that the third act launches into this exposition flashback, breaking up the narrative. Most of the movie feels rather strung together loosely, not carefully crafted. It kind of feels like we're making it up as we go along. There is a pro. The final fight scene though with Fang and other three heroes is fun to watch, and that was like a good fight scene there. Most of the fighting was fair in that scene, but I wrote down my notes some sloppy camera work along the way with a couple of really wobbly dolly shots in that should have just been discarded or cut out. I mean, like they literally. I know they didn't have a. What is the dolly rig? The JL Fisher, I believe, is the dolly rig I had when I made my student film in college, which is like on a track. Everything is smooth. It's got the arms so you can pan and tilt everything. Of course, I made that in the 90s, late 90s, and this was in the early 70s. And I get that we didn't have like a nice track for that, but I mean, they were making Wizard of Oz and some of these movies 20 years prior to this, and they had smooth dolly track movement. And watching this and seeing the camera literally just like shaking as somebody's probably pushing it on like a rocky road cart. Maybe it wasn't even a dolly. Maybe it was a cart and somebody holding the camera mounted on some sticks or something. I don't know, but some bad decisions going in here. So you get the gist of things here. The Shadow Whip, I've never seen it before. This is my first time out watching it. I'm going to give it a notorious letter grade of a D+. below average. I did watch this a couple times because it has some special features, which I'll talk to now. So we got the Blu-ray. Let's see, the Shadow Whip, audio commentary, David West, critic and author of Chasing Dragons, an Introduction to the Martial Arts World, and Celestial Trailer. So David West is interesting when it comes to his commentaries. Very academic, really talking about, real serious, talking about the location, the shooting, the landscape where they shot, and some of the different characters in the movie. It was good to watch with the commentary. It wasn't, some of the commentaries you get where they're basically narrating what's on screen. He doesn't go into that. He goes into like a lot of the, not so much the behind the scenes of this movie, but a lot of the behind the scenes of just the Shaw brothers and the Lo Wei. He actually goes real deep on Lo Wei. He spends at least, I feel like, about 40 minutes on Lo Wei, his cinematic, legendary cinematic status, if he should be up there with like the Long Carlaos, the Chang Chais, the King Hu's, the top, Shaw brothers and Hong Kong martial arts cinema directors or not. A lot of people kind of say, hey, well, Lo Wei kind of fell into things with, directing Bruce Lee's early movies, and some of his other stuff isn't really that great. The Shadow Whip, not such a great movie, but some of the other Shaw brothers Lo Wei movies, I do think are a notch up above this. So thanks, David West, for that analysis and your opinions. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen The Shadow Whip. I know this has been out on DVD and collections and available before. It's just one of these movies that hasn't come across my desk, as they say, and now I have a chance to check it out. So thanks a bunch for watching. If you're brand new, please hit the like button and leave me some comments below. For Corn Out TV, we'll see you next time.